Yeah, mic check. One. A good Friday to you. I almost said good evening. I'm so used to doing these at 8 p.m. A good Friday to you. Happy afternoon. And I hope you got some good shopping here done on that Black Friday for those Christmas presents for friends and family, supporting our small businesses here as well. Of course, we're going to be talking about the snowfall right? That's the big storyline. We're just about, I'd say, give or take maybe 8 to 10 hours away throughout most of our hometowns for seeing those flakes first starting to fall. That's why we have this weather impact alert. We're going to walk you through this kind of whole system here right now, that weather impact where it's going to be pretty much all day Saturday. I mean, we're talking about moderate to heavy snowfall overnight throughout the afternoon on Saturday. It's going to be an impactful storm. We've seen some upgrades for some of our hometowns where everyone now is under a winter storm warning. So let's kind of just get you through the data first, and then we'll get to your questions if you're on Facebook or here on the WQ88 Plus app. You can send those questions in the Facebook chat, or you can text us. That number is 309-304-0888. Again, that number 309-304-0888. Let's kind of just start with the weather impact alert, right? You've probably seen this graphic a lot here over the past couple of days, and it's just reminding you again, avoid travel if possible. And we're going to be seeing some heavy, slick roads. That is for sure here as we get into your Saturday. Looking at the radar right now, you're not going to be seeing a whole lot. If we want to punch up those graphics right now, you're not going to be seeing a whole lot really going on right now. We actually have some good sunshine here today, and it does feel nice, even with these chilly temperatures that we're feeling outside. The sunshine was nice, and let me tell you, it's going to feel really good come tomorrow because it's a bit of a different story. We can zoom out a little bit here, and you can already see some activity over portions of western Iowa here right now, right near Omaha as well. Good news is actually on one of our TVs up here, we do have the Hawkeye game going on. They're playing pretty well and don't see too much in terms of flakes going on there out in Nebraska, but we are going to start to see that snowfall impacting central Iowa, then of course impacting us here in eastern Iowa. Again, that time frame right around 7-8 hours from now for our furthest east hometowns. It's all off this area of low pressure, and you can see it's really not exactly right on top of the snowfall, right? Well, it's going to be large bands around the low that are going to be seeing the snowfall, or large bands around this low that will carry the snowfall. You can see further to the south, it's bringing some rainfall into portions of Texas. Well, us, we're getting that snow here because of the track of it. Let's talk about the winter storm warning. That's issued for everyone now. I know last night we had that winter storm watch, right? All of our hometowns, all of our counties now under that. Heavy snow expected at least 6 to maybe 10 inches for many, some even higher than that. Now, poor road conditions all day Saturday, maybe into your Sunday morning as well. Then I think the plows will start to be able to get a little bit more done. Because again, we're going to be seeing snowfall all day Saturday, so travel is really going to be impacted there. And gusts maybe up to 30 miles per hour. The good news when it comes to your wind gusts, that timing is looking to be overnight tonight into your Saturday morning, and then again overnight Saturday into Sunday when we get that really tight pressure gradient here as that low makes its way through the region. The good news again there is it's in the overnight hours. There's not going to be as many people trying to travel in case you need to still on your Saturday, which means visibility impacts won't be significant there. And we're also talking about a heavier snow, which is good because that means it's harder for that wind to kind of blow it around and bring any sort of whiteout condition. We're still looking at a major impact, though, when it comes to this storm. We're at a 4 out of 5 here throughout pretty much all of our hometowns when it comes to the winter storm severity index. All of us, again, are going to be seeing the impact from this. We're kind of right in that heart of the impact zone from the system tracking through the area. Again, that's why we keep on emphasizing, if possible, change your plans on Saturday. Make sure you're prepared for that first big winter storm here of the season. And if you are hitting the road, reminder, get those essentials in your car, maybe some water, right, that flashlight, extra jacket and blanket in there as well. So just keep that in mind as we get through your Saturday. Let's show you the latest data here when it comes to those snowfall totals. And this is the raw data, and you can see still pretty much give or take at least 6 inches. Most everyone, I think, is going to be seeing 6 inches here. Many of us probably 8 to 10 to maybe even a little bit more in terms of the snowfall totals. Let's give you the latest on our probabilities here of seeing those 6+ inches of snowfall. Same thing happened on the show on Wednesday night. We're just going to open this up and you'll be able to see it. 95% chance that pretty much all of our hometowns see 6+ inches of snow. If you're not 95, you're 90%. So we're definitely talking about a good accumulating snow here. And something I want you to keep in mind with this is it's a heavy snow and we're getting heavy totals. Actually, most accidents when it comes to snowfall, this is the good news, occur when it's maybe 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. So keep that in mind. That's good news when it comes to the roads, just because there's going to be so much snow on it, but we're still, again, travel impacts are going to be significant. Travel not advised still. That doesn't mean we don't say you should travel, but that is at least good news, is with the higher totals, you don't actually see as many accidents as you typically do with the lower totals. We're going to get now to my forecast from last night was 8 to 12 inches. And I think we're probably going to stick around that range. I might kind of slim those totals down to maybe 2-inch ranges. Here, once I look at the data, last night I went through 7 different models for all of our hometowns, got off that number, and that's how I got the numbers that you're seeing there on this screen. So we're going to kind of do that again here as we get towards our 6 o'clock show. That's streaming here tonight on the WQAD 8+ app. That's when I'll have my next round of totals. I'll make sure to get them up on social media here as well. Again, here in the Quad Cities, I'm starting to maybe lead towards 9 to 11 inches, and I'll show you here now that we're up on the camera. These are all the little different data points that I put in yesterday to get these numbers. I'll do that again today to make sure you guys have the latest numbers as we get through the afternoon with the newest data. Let's walk you through hour by hour snowfall totals as we get through this system, because it's going to accumulate actually pretty quickly here as we get into the overnight hours. Most of us should be seeing at least 2-3 inches on the road, at least by right around 7-8 a.m. The system's going to move pretty much again from south, west, carrying further to the north and east. So that's why you're going to see our further northeast hometowns and here in the metro, seeing that timing push back a little bit. That doesn't mean we're not going to see impacts on the roads, but here's kind of that timing of those snowfall totals. This is some raw data that we're looking at, but just keep that in mind. We'll walk you through the exact run of our house model, which we do love here at Storm Track 8. We love looking at this. Right around midnight, you'll see we're starting to get a little accumulation. That's when the warning is going to begin here tonight as we continue through the overnight hours towards right around 6 a.m. on your Saturday. Again, many of us looking potentially 3, 4, 5 inches of snowfall already on the ground. So even any travel throughout the day on Saturday, you're going to be seeing those travel impacts. By 9 a.m., this is when we're expecting one of the heavier bands of snow to make its way through. You'll see up to almost 7 inches here just on the raw data in the Quad Cities. Mount Pleasant, almost 8 inches. Burlington, almost 7. Further to the north, again, you're going to see those totals pick up a little bit later in the day. 6 inches in Savannah, give or take, by right around noon. Here in the metro, you're seeing that number climb almost towards 10. Keep in mind, this is raw data that we're looking at here. So I don't know if this is the exact scenario that's going to play out, but it gives you a good idea of what we could be looking at. Again, these totals continue to trend higher. Now that the system's on landfall, we get more sensors into it. Here we are by 6 p.m. on Saturday. You're seeing, for example, here in the Quad Cities, maybe 14.6 inches. What our model is picking up on here is the potential for thunder snow. It's pretty much like a thunderstorm, right, where you get those heavier pockets of rainfall, but imagine that with snowfall. There's more precipitable water in there, which means more rain or more snowfall will come down from that. As we continue through the day on Saturday, by right around 10 p.m., many of us could be 10 plus inches. So keep in mind, this is raw data that you're looking at here. I don't know if we're going to be exactly nearing maybe 15 inches of snowfall, but definitely I think right around maybe 10 inches here in the metro as of right now. And you'll see some of those pinkish contours as well. That's going to clear out, but that's indicating maybe 12 to 15 inches. It all depends where we get those heavier bands. And I think right along I-80 and due south now with the latest runs is kind of where we're tracking that. And I agree with that timeline. Here's your winter storm timeline. And I told you right early on your Saturday morning, right around sunrise through right around maybe 10, 11 is when we're going to get one of the heavier bands, and then another round in the afternoon. That's what we're looking at here. So that's when we could be seeing maybe some visibility impacts just because of the heavier snowfall making its way down here. Get you through future track, and then we'll get to your questions. I know there's a lot of you guys asking those in the comments. And again, if you want to ask those questions, you can put them in our Facebook chat or text them to us at 309-304-0888. Here we are at 6:30 tonight. You'll notice most of the activity like we're seeing further off to our west right now, still staying there. But as we get towards right around 9:10, that's when our furthest west hometowns start to see some of that activity. And then look at the color coding here. That's something I want you to keep in mind. The brighter the white, the heavier the snowfall. And you notice as we get through the overnight hours, we're talking about some heavier snowfall bands as we start the day on your Saturday. Then it'll lighten up as we get towards maybe noon, but it's still some good snowfall going in throughout the area. But there's pockets where it's a little bit lighter. Then as we get towards the afternoon, another push of that heavier snowfall here throughout the region. This is going to be an all-day event here for your Saturday, folks. Again, most travel likely is going to be very difficult here. It's not completely impossible per se, but it is not advised. That is for sure. I know our plow crews are going to be working very hard. A big thank you to them ahead of time already. I know they're going to be very busy here, our airport crews as well. As we get towards right around maybe 3, 4, 5 a.m. on your Sunday, I think that's when we're going to see most of this activity clear, and I think most roads will start to clear as we get throughout the day on Sunday. So that's good news there because we don't really see any wrap around this low like we can sometimes see. And there is something I really want to point out here. I know you're seeing these heavy totals, and people might be asking on social media or saying on social media, well, this always happens. We call for major snowfall, and Well, it doesn't. Every single model that we're looking at here, this is, for example, last night in the Metro Quad Cities, had us at least 8 inches, the low end. There's no dry pockets of air we're looking at with this. We have some really moist air that's moving here through the region. We're not going to see a dry slot slide in and kind of prevent that snowfall from making it to the ground. That's not a scenario in this situation. It's just a matter of how high will those totals get? Where do we see the thunder snow? And again, I think those pockets we are climbing upwards of 12 plus inches where you end up seeing it, that's where the thunder snow is going to occur. I think the best chance for that right along Interstate 80 and just to the south of it. That's where we're seeing this latest trend. There's about a 30-40% chance of that happening yesterday with there's a minor shift about 30 miles further to the south. That's kind of what's playing out here right now on our house model, and you just saw that there. So let's kind of get into our questions now. I know we got probably a whole lot of them, and I know I talked way too much there. I like to talk here, though. That's what we do at Storm Track 8. We're good yappers, we like to say. Hey, folks. Hey to Bill, Riley, Tracy. Tracy's wondering how much for Monmouth. And I'll pull up our manual snow forecast here, and I'll put on our house model. Just make sure we get that all pulled up properly for you guys, and you can see kind of I'll adjust it to the range I'm looking at as of right now. Here's the graph, and let me get one more thing up for you guys here. We're going to go to, awesome. Now this is continuous. Okay, so that's where I was a little confused with those totals. Let me change this here for you guys 1 second, and I'm going to go to continuous forecast point data. Perfect. Okay. So we'll drag this through you guys throughout the totals. And then this is our raw model. So we're looking at potentially maybe background's raw model. These are my forecast numbers. For our friends in Monmouth, Roseville, give or take, I think this is maybe looking towards 10 to 12 inches of snowfall right now. That's my initial thought here with this. Again, I'm looking at some of the raw data, and I'm going to get through about 7-8 models here over the next hour or so and give you more fine-tuned details. I think as of right now, Monmouth, Roseville, our friends there, maybe 10 to 12 inches as of right now. For Geneseo, I think you guys are still maybe right in that 9 to 11 range like I'm going to do here in the Metro Quad Cities. That's kind of the latest data I'm looking at here with those totals. Our friend Brandon asked, how will the north and southbound roads be in Mercer County? Most all of our roads here are going to be seeing a significant impact, right? You're talking about 8 probably plus inches for most all of our hometowns. North, south, east, west, you're still going to be seeing the impacts. The good news is, again, I've already seen our road crews prepping today. I was on my way to the gym earlier. I saw multiple trucks already starting to spray the roads. They're going to start prepping here as we get through the evening as well. So the good news is they're going to be working hard to prep it, but it's going to be pretty difficult here as we get into Saturday, right? We're talking not only about heavy totals, but that heavy, wet snow. Good news is wind doesn't impact it, but when it comes to the plows, our friends in those, they're going to see a little bit more of an impact there because it's harder to kind of get that heavier snow off the road. So keep that in mind as we get towards Saturday. If you have travel plans, see if you can maybe change them. And if not, just be very careful on the roads. Again, we're talking about difficult travel conditions. We're right here in the heart of where the biggest impacts of this snowstorm are going to be here throughout our hometowns. Our good friend Billy. Billy, how are you? I always love hearing from you. Just want to report that the city of Clinton has issued a snow emergency starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, lasting through about 7 p.m. Monday evening. That's not surprised by that. I know we have people wondering about road conditions on Monday. As of right now, I think we're likely going to be trending in the right direction there. I don't think we'll be seeing as many impacts. Think about the cars trying to hit the road on Sunday. That warmth alone will help kind of start to melt it a little bit, and the plows will continue to work away as we get through your Sunday. So I think most likely travel should be pretty much improved by Monday. I don't think we're going to be talking about school cancellations or anything like that, but that is very good news from Billy. I'll make sure I'll relay that to our newsroom and get that maybe in our articles there as well, that we're keeping you guys updated with any potential closings that come our way. Our friend Logan, will Monday morning be clear of mass? So yeah, that's kind of, I saw your question after, that's where I was getting to. I think most of us should be pretty much all clear by Monday. Again, neighborhood streets, those are going to be the last ones that do get plowed. Major roads should pretty much be all clear by Sunday afternoon and evening. Neighborhood streets, you probably are still going to be seeing a little bit of an impact there. And also more rural areas, you're going to be seeing a little bit of an impact there as well, lingering into your Monday a bit more. So if you are in one of those rural areas, or just keeping in mind in your neighborhood streets, probably still going to be seeing some snow on the ground. And it's not going to be warming up to enough where it's going to melt. It's going to have that snowpack staying here for a little bit. But again, I think once people start driving on it, those conditions will improve here. Let's see, how much will Sterling, Illinois get? I think you guys are probably right around the 8 to 10 inch range as of right now with the latest data that we're looking at on our house model and really on many of the other models as well. I think 8 to 10 inches, maybe 9 to 11 once this new data comes in, if it continues to trend just a bit higher for our friends in Sterling Rock Falls. Let's see, Chucky, you ready for the snow? I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not so much. I'm in Arizona, and so I mean, I can forecast it very well, but driving in it, it's gonna be a bit of a different story here for me, that's for sure. Jordan says, what is the percentage of possible thunder snow and how long would it last maybe? I mean, there's probably, I'd say 30, 40% chance of seeing it. Throughout the region, yes, 100% sure. Like overall, the upper Mississippi Valley, yeah, there's probably gonna be some thunder snow. Question is where throughout our region, I'd say 30, 40, maybe 50% chance of seeing it. It is a fascinating sight, right, to see thunder snow. You don't typically think of thunderstorms and snowfall together. It's really cool. I know us weather folk, we get very excited when we talk about thunder snow. Again, it's not like you're seeing anything crazy from it. You just get some lightning maybe, potentially, and some good old-fashioned thunder. But the snowfall, that's where you're gonna get those heavier snowfall rates. So if you do hear that thunder, keep that in mind. You're probably gonna get a little bit more in terms of accumulation if you get in those little pockets where we do get that thunder activity here. Emmanuel Santana, how much snow would I see in Spring Valley? And is it going to be heavy? Across the board, let me tell you this, we are gonna be seeing those heavier snowfall totals. That's for sure. Most everyone is gonna see that heavy, wet snow here throughout the region. When it comes to Spring Valley, I think you guys are probably right around that 8 to 10 inch mark as well. Our friends further out to the east, that's where I think we're gonna probably get those 8 to 10 inch totals. I think immediate Quad Cities and just kind of due south of that towards maybe Lido, we're looking at maybe Muscatine, and even a little bit further south towards, give or take, Galesburg, Kewaunee, where we could be talking about maybe the 10 to 12 inch number here now. So that's kind of the latest there on that. Let me see, next up would be Shanae. How will it be around 9 p.m. from out of town traveling? If you want to let me know where you're traveling here in the chat, I can let you know what it's looking like. I will say if you're heading further to the west, here tonight, say traveling on Interstate 80, Highway 30, Highway 20, Highway 34, you're gonna notice those impacts a little bit earlier than we will see here in the metro. Again, we're already starting to see, I can pull this up right now, some of that snowfall. The accumulations will be lighter this evening until we get towards right around, I'd say, midnight to 2 a.m. That's when we're gonna start to see that snowfall pick up here throughout the area. But if you're heading further to the west, traveling back from Indiana to the QC around 3 p.m. today. You should be all fine tonight. We'll look out further to the west here for you, and you'll notice, I mean, further to the east, you're gonna be all clear. Most of that snowfall, again, isn't gonna reach our region till about, give or take, 9, 10 at the soonest tonight. So you guys should be fine for your commute today. I don't think you're gonna be seeing any issues. That's about a give or take. I don't know where in Indiana you are. Many of us 4 or 5 hour drive. So I think you're gonna be A-okay there. Let's see, our good friend Tyler. Tyler, how are you? Always good to hear from you. How much estimated for Davenport and could the current snow totals shown possibly go up? I say right now 9 to 11. I showed you that map where it was 8 to 12. I'm gonna fine tune those. As of right now, give or take, I think 9 to 11, maybe 10 to 12 here. It's kind of the borderline that I'm looking at here right along Interstate 80 right now. Again, I'm probably gonna go through about 7, 8 models here. Recent runs of our 2 short terms, our ensembles, and the European are still pretty good at this point in time when it comes to this system. We're gonna go through every single one, look at all the data. We'll do some model comparisons where we could say, look at the radar, see which one's matching accurate conditions and temperatures best. And based off that, I'll get those numbers updated. I think give or take maybe right around 4 p.m. here, because it does take a little bit of a while to get through all that data and get you the best and most accurate information. So keep that in mind. I think 4 o'clock, I'll post it on my Facebook here of the exact maybe final totals I could be looking at here before we get our next round of data at 9 o'clock, which will be pretty much the start of this event here. Tracy says, my nephew is gonna be busy. He has a plowing business. Oh, that's fantastic. Love to hear that. We are very glad for our friends in the plow business because last year they did not have a lot of activity. That is some good news there, is that they're gonna be very busy here over the next couple days. That is for sure. And it looks like Tyler just said they put out the snow emergency in Davenport for 8 p.m. tonight until 9 a.m. Sunday. Parking is prohibited on posted snow routes. No surprise there. We were already kind of expecting, right, those travel delays, accumulating snow where the plows are going to have to get through, parking on the sides of the roads. You're going to get stuck right up with those piles of snow. So keep that in mind. If you are parked on the road maybe right now, see if you can find another spot and avoid getting trapped in there, because I've heard some stories that don't sound too fun about digging out of a lot of snow after the plow makes its way through. Tracy, is it going to be heavy snow? Yes, it's a wet, heavy snow. Tomorrow we're looking at highs right around maybe 30, 32, 33 degrees. It's pretty heavy snow, right? When we get those temperatures dropping to right around maybe 20 degrees, that's where you get that nice light fluffy snow. But with those Colorado lows, it's usually a wetter, heavier snow that we're going to be looking at here, especially with the temperatures that we're seeing here as well. Jordan Strop says, if thunder snow occurs, could the Quad Cities get up to 15 to 16 inches of snow? Maybe. In isolated areas, there are going to be some localized spots, I think, where we definitely get maybe 13, 14 inches of snow, maybe even a little bit higher than that. I'm not going to rule that out with that thunder snow activity. Again, very localized with that total, but it's for sure possible here. Again, we're talking about major travel impacts here with this, folks. It's higher totals. We've kind of seen these numbers go up and up here throughout the week. So again, plan Saturday, or if they haven't been canceled yet, most likely will be in. If you get that thunder snow, yeah, you're talking about those heavier totals, and you might want to maybe be a little bit extra prepared, pack some extra food, make sure your pantry's all stocked up here before the system makes its way through here tonight. I think that's all the questions we have as of right now. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to see if we have any other questions. I'll throw up the snow total map with the latest forecast as of this morning when it comes to these totals, and then we'll get you on your way, let you continue maybe watching the rest of this Hawkeye game. I know we got a whole lot of college football on, and we'll be back here at 6 p.m. tonight before that last round of games start this evening, so be sure to join us on the 8+ app there. Here's that latest on the snowfall potential. Again, I think further to the south, right along I-80 due south. Again, the lows shifting just a little bit further to the south is where we expect the higher totals here. Give or take, I think these numbers are going to shrink by about 2 inches and maybe go up by about 1 for that minimum. So idea. What I'm saying here in the Quad Cities, 8 to 12 was kind of that number. I think I'll probably go 9 to 11 here in the Quad Cities. Further to the south, Galesburg, I might jump you up to maybe 10 to 12 for our friends in Monmouth, Roseville, Oquawka area, Burlington, Mount Pleasant, maybe a little bit higher for you guys there as well. Connor Morrison asks, how is travel on Sunday morning for church looking? Depends what time your Sunday service is. I'm going to be honest, it depends on where you are located here as well. Some of our roads, our major roads, most likely have some good relief on them by that point on Sunday morning. Again, the plows are going to be going all night here, late Saturday into your Sunday morning. So I'm hoping our Sunday services can continue. I know many of us like to go to those, that is for sure, myself included, but it's going to just kind of have to check on the road conditions. I will say, best way to do that, well, download our 8+ app or tune into the show on GMQC on Sunday morning. Morgan Strackbine will be there. As of right now, I know she's got to travel back too, so we'll be watching that. One of us for sure will be here, that's for sure. Checking maybe the latest on those road conditions and seeing if there's any issues there. We'll have all those updates for you come Sunday morning. As of right now, I'd say major roads should be good. Neighborhood streets is where we're still going to be seeing the impact as we get into your Sunday, especially into Sunday afternoon. That's where the remaining impacts are going to be here with this. Let's see. Bob's, oh, that's very great news. I love to hear that. Nice little 12-year-old young entrepreneur there getting going and helping start a little business, really clearing those sidewalks. That's awesome. I love to hear that, Bob. I think that's going to do it. We'll roll you out here with the 8-day tracker so you just see kind of what's coming up next. Cold, as we expect, right? Once we get that snowpack built up here, we're going to start to see some really chilly temperatures here throughout the area. I mean, we're talking about maybe highs into the teens. Keep in mind that Sunday red and that weather impact alert obviously is for tomorrow, not onto your Sunday. This graphic hasn't been updated for our evening shows here by myself just yet. But Monday, we're looking at overnight lows or temperatures as you start your day, maybe right around 6 degrees if there's a bit of a breeze. Talk about wind chills maybe into the negatives. That's something we'll be watching. Same with Monday into your Tuesday. We'll try to warm up as we get into Wednesday, but there's still a chance for some flurries there. And you'll notice throughout that 14-day tracker, not a whole lot going on there in terms of temperatures climbing above freezing. The snow might stay here for a little bit. The good news is we might start to see a little bit of a warm-up here as we get towards maybe mid-December. That's maybe when we could be tracking a warm-up on the way, so probably a bit of a cold stretch ahead of us. Again, we expect that once we get the snow on the ground, but that's definitely something that we will be talking about. I think I got through all your guys' questions. Again, if you have any more, if you're watching this after, feel free to message me on Facebook. We'll be doing another stream at 8 p.m. here tonight. We're streaming our 6 p.m. newscast. I know we got college football on ABC all day. We're streaming our 6 p.m. newscast here on the WQ88 Plus app. I'll have updated snowfall totals then. Be sure to follow us on our social medias. We'll be updating you there as well. And then 8 p.m. again tonight. 10 p.m. show. We're going to start a stream after that so you can look at the radar, and throughout the morning tomorrow, throughout the day tomorrow, I know most likely myself and Andrew Stutzky are going to be here as much as we can throughout the day tomorrow together, at least through right around noon at the latest. We'll both be in here making sure everything is looking A-OK and give you any updates when it comes to those road conditions, snowfall totals, airport delays. That's something we're definitely going to be watching here as well. Thank you so much for joining us here for this Storm Track 8 weather update. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Enjoy the good football, and we'll see you back here at 6 p.m. on the 8 Plus app.